Greetings, folks. Super excited because today is the day that my package finally shows up. What package, you're probably wondering? Well, the package I sent to myself on my last day in Santiago, which contained my trekking poles, my compostela, other certificates, maybe some gifts. Can't really recall what I put in that box, but it's coming in today. And with that, I'm going to do an unboxing of my stuff I sent home. I don't know. Maybe it's for the sake of a video, but today's the day. So super stoked about that, and I'm looking forward to you joining me. So now it's the waiting game. My favorite game. Really? I missed it? I've been home
all day.
Something. Nah. Did you get something?
No.
I think we're at 5 p.m. I need to ring the doorbell. It's never easy, folks.
Go to the post office, you schmuck.
Well, I guess I'm going to the post office. Okay, we're here. We're on the scene. And by on the scene, I mean we're at the post office. Right there, in fact. That's where we are. That's the post office. I got my slip. I'm going to go in there and get my package, and then we're going to do the unpacking of stuff I packed. I already know what's in it. Is it still an unpacking video when you know what's in it? When you send it to yourself, is that a thing? Let's find out, folks. Well, it's closed. It's not closed, it's lunchtime. So I think people are in the building. I can see my package. It's within reach, but is it stealing if I take something that I sent to myself? It's kind of like, is it an unpacking video of it's stuff that is it? I'm ethically challenged here, folks. So I guess I'll wait for their lunchtime to be over. You can stop the car. Screw it.
Start the car! Start the car! Start the car! Buen Camino, bitches! La 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 la.
Did somebody say Santiago?
Wow!
Back again! Welcome, folks, back to, well, the Shell Toucher channel. And, I know it's been a hot minute. It's been longer than a hot minute. It's been a few hot minutes, probably about 20 hot minutes if we're really gonna get serious about this. Are we really gonna get serious about this? Now? Anyways, folks, we're back. It's been a long summer. I've been back for more than a few weeks now from the Camino, and my package showed up. What package? Well, if you saw the intro, you already know what package. This package! Yeah, this took forever to come in. Actually, it took about 3 weeks to come in, but it holds my trusty trekking poles, at least I hope, because this is the condition it came back in. Can you see this? Now, the yellow tape is the tape from Spain, from the Spanish post office. All this additional tape, I don't know where it came from. I can only imagine as it looks like the post office. There's a sticker here apologizing. But I want you to know, folks, this is typically how it comes in. This is always, in fact, this is how I always get a package from Spain. Because at the end of every Camino from Santiago, I mail a bunch of stuff home, and it always comes in damaged. This time around, though, I will give them credit. Usually at the post office, I have to ask them to put more tape on it. But she started putting this tape on herself, so she was experienced, I'm sure. Because in Spain, I know. But in Spain, their boxes are different than what we're used to here in North America. They're thin. The cardboard is thin. It's actually very thin, and it feels like, you know what I'm talking about if you've ever mailed anything home from Spain. It just doesn't feel as secure as one of the boxes we use. And shipping internationally, this can be very concerning. But, you know, you just send off a prayer to Santiago and hope for the best.
I got you.
However, it's holding my trusty, or hopefully holding both of my trusty trekking poles and then some. So, yeah, this is what you get. I mean, one way around that, if you're looking for a tip early in this video, is maybe ask them to double up on the boxes. Yeah, they don't really have a lot in space. You'd think in Santiago they'd be used to pilgrims sending stuff to and fro, but it really just, sometimes they're out of boxes, they're running low on boxes, they don't ever have tubes. That must be something, I don't know, unique to the United States maybe, but they never have tubes. And you'd think with all the trekking poles coming and going, maybe they would offer tubes. They don't, so you have to build your own box there. I've had a lot of experiences at the post office in Spain, and all of them usually always lead to this condition when it finally shows up. So, not too happy about this, and I hope everything I sent home, I don't even remember what it is at this point. I will say it took 3 weeks, roughly. It took about 3 weeks to get to me, which seemed like forever, especially when I'm in training every day since I've gotten back as well and need my trekking poles. Luckily, I have more than one pair, because I'm prepared. Anyways, let's do this. Okay, as you can see, one flap is already open. It's just, that might be from the breakout from the post office. Again, if you saw the intro, you know now how I roll. Okay, all right, this might be the bottom of the, this is fun. This is an unboxing, not an unboxing, an unboxing video, unique to unboxing videos, because typically, you know, influencers, I hate to ever call myself an influencer, that just doesn't seem like the right term for what I do. It also sounds like it's related to drugs. I might be dating myself with that. But that's how I feel, and I gotta share this with you. Anyways, folks, so typically an unboxing video, historically and traditionally, would be someone unboxing a package that they ordered. This, however, is a package I shipped to myself. So this was gonna help me remember what I used and had and took advantage of while I was in Santiago. So let's just plop that down on the ground and we'll reach in this way. First and foremost, my paca. Those of you who follow my channel, and I hope all of you do by this point, if you don't, please like, comment, and subscribe right now. Why beat around the bush? Just do it. I'll wait. I can't wait. I gotta do this video, but remember to do it. If you can do it now before you forget. Anyways, if you watch the channel, you know all about this, so I'm not going to go into it, but this is my favorite poncho, my favorite piece of rain gear so far. This could change, but so far, I love the paca. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Live it, love it, learn it, look it up. Paca, sold at cedartree.com, I believe is the name. I know, but that's just how they roll. So cedartree.com, I believe, or the paca. You can find this online. I'll put a link below if you're interested in awesome rain gear. So I had to send that because I didn't want to carry all this stuff through the airport on my way back. Oh, I remember packing this. So I sent home gifts and stuff. Aside from, you know, I almost sent home my secret nun cookies, but then I thought like they would just crumble. Because they do. Cookies crumble, especially these. They're dry like tea biscuits. In fact, the box is right over here. Can you see that box? You can. That is a secret nun cookie box. Monasterio Benedictinas San Peleo.
Secret nun
I'll
cookies.
talk more about that in a coming episode. I'm sorry the episodes have been so slow too. I've just been trying to process my last trip and really just kind of focus on what I want to make this new series of videos about. And I still don't really know. It's going to be tips, tricks, and hacks. We know that much. Anyways, could feel this. This is my Compostela. Actually, this is not my Compostela. This is a certificate from, where is this from? Finisterre and Murcia. Both of them are in here, I believe. So people will call them Compostelas because there are certificates you receive at the end of doing the Finisterre, from Santiago to Finisterre, or Santiago to Murcia. They both offer certificates at the end. However, they're not Compostelas, not officially. So, be careful what forms you use that terminology in. So we'll just say certificates for now. So I have them in here. I have to say, out of all my Compostelas, the Finisterre one, that's the one right there. That's from my first time in Finisterre. It's beautiful. I actually almost prefer that Compostela, the artwork on it, to the real Compostela. There, I said it. Yeah. So, Compostelas, or there you go, certificates and Compostela. Now, that said, ooh, this looks like it. Look at that. It almost fell out. But this tube doesn't come with the Compostela. It is sold there, but they don't really upsell at the register, I've noticed. So you have to remember to ask for a tube. This costs about €2 or €3 with the Compostela. Compostela's free, but you might get the miles certificate as well. Whatever the case may be, you want to protect this. If you're carrying it home or if you're sending it home, get a tube. See, they get the tubes. They understand the tube thing. I don't know why the post office doesn't. It is what it is. But yeah, so be sure, I always recommend a tube. Do the tube. So I was there for St. James Week. I got to see everything that came with it, the whole month really. But the week I was there, up until I left, it was just one big party. It was awesome to experience. I got to walk out my door and be at a concert, and then when it was front stage, center stage, up front, and then when it was over, I just walked 5 minutes down the road to my bed, and it was the easiest concert I ever attended, and quite possibly one of the best. And that was Yusu Endua. And just like that, he was playing Santiago. Go figure. So that was a little booklet from that week, a little memento. What else we got in here? See, this is a dry bag. Dry bags, not only are they great for the Camino, doing the Camino, but they're also great for sending stuff back into. It just keeps everything together rather than loose in that box, which there is some stuff loose in that box. But when these boxes burst, and they inevitably will, you want it to stay together. Oh, and look at this. So this is just, you know where this is from? Decathlon. French for tortilla. You're gonna love that place. Wool shirt, folks. This probably cost me like $25. You can't find merino wool shirts in my country for that price. So I always stock up. I always get this color too for I don't know, because it's one of my, I don't like to say favorite colors, but it's a color I really enjoy. Tortilla yellow. So we'll put this to the side. Credencial. Yeah. I'll be using this on my next Camino, or maybe I'll just save it. Maybe I'll just save it for video so I can talk about it. But a new one. I thought I might need another one, so I picked them up. Only €2. If you can pick these up while you're there, it's always good. I think anyways. What else we got here? Oh, now we got a bag inside the bag. Braga. So on this last Camino, I did the Norte. Oh no, what did I do? I did the Frances. I started the Frances for 2 weeks. I hiked to Burgos, and then from Burgos, I took a train from Burgos to Madrid, and then Madrid, I flew to Porto. So I started the Camino Portuguese after the fact. And so when I got to Braga, I was handed this little booklet, family leisure activities. I don't know where I was handed that little booklet, but I like to save these things just to look back at later on. Oh, here's my, look at this. Yeah. Whoa. The Camino Portuguese, they really, they do it well. Like I love the, oh, is this? Interesting. Okay, I must have picked up a second credencial for the Portuguese as well. That's weird, I don't remember, but I must have bought one of these. Everything just kind of, time just does brain words. Yeah, I don't know. And I have all these little, probably for future videos. There's some type of reason why I saved these. Don't know. Okay, what else is in here? Okay, this. Oh, okay, another credencial. More business cards and stuff. And, this. I've been waiting for this. This goes in my collection. See this? This is the type of like knick-knack or souvenir that I appreciate because I grew up collecting coins and foreign money and stamps and all that stuff, and I still kind of dork out at it. So I always pick up a $0. Funny that I pay for this, but a €0, not dollar, €0. I got this one in Burgos at the cathedral. And I have some from years before from Santiago right here. I'm going to do a video eventually on off the beaten track souvenirs that you can get, because otherwise you end up with the same tchotchkes as everyone else. All the stores sell the same stuff, but these things are kind of unique. And you can also frame these things. But this one is from Santiago and this one's from Burgos. So now I have this collection I'm building. This is from the tourist office. So remember to go in the tourist office in Santiago and get one of these. And in Burgos, in the gift shop that you pretty much have to walk through at the end, you can get these out of the machine for I think €5. But I think they're really cool, and I'm glad to build on this collection of worthless euros. Don't judge me. Okay, and then we have the credencial itself, and this is the one from the Frances, from the beginning of the Frances. Let's see, stamps I collected during that. I couldn't use this for my certificate at the end because I thought I could combine them from, at least for the mileage certificate, and maybe depending who you're working with at the Pilgrim office, they will combine that and come up with some miles for you for the miles certificate and combine the two. But for me, they refused to do it. So I'll be bringing this back, and maybe I'll start in Burgos next time and finish the Frances for the umpteenth time. What else we got? Oh yeah, I got this patch. Pimentos de Padron.
I mistakenly picked a pepper patch.
I stayed in Padron, but I found this patch, I can't remember, somewhere along the way, a little shop, and I thought at first it was a pickle. I don't know. And it just made more sense to me, and thought I should probably have a pickle patch. Instead, I got a pimento patch. That's all good and fine. I'll put this in my bag very shortly. I always end up with this. I don't know always, but this is the second time I don't know how I ended up, oh, maybe I just found this. I ended up with these Roncesvalles meal tickets. Maybe I don't turn them in. I'm trying to think if I skipped breakfast. I don't think I skipped breakfast this year, but I ended up with this. Sorry, Roncesvalles. I'll bring it back. But yeah, I have this. Second time. No kidding. Lock laces. I always bring an extra pack of lock laces just in case something happens along the way, or maybe a friend needs them. So, lock laces. Brought those with me, sent them home. Tablet cleaners. This is for my water bottle. I always bring 5 at least. I think I brought a few more extra ones this year, so I can at least clean my water bottle properly at least once a week. So either I missed some cleanings or I had some extras. I can't explain this, but rather than carry the extra weight home with me, I sent it home before I flew home. Stallmates. These are like, for lack of a better word, they're wet wipes. In case you end up in a bathroom where there's no toilet paper, or end up in the middle of nowhere where there's clearly no toilet paper, or wherever the case may be, these are always handy to have. And always keep at least one in your sling bag or in your fanny pack or in your backpack, but mostly in the smaller bags that you probably will have with you during the course of the day, or in your back pocket. And yeah, I have them left over. So, but trust me, you'll be thinking of me in that situation if you don't have. Maybe you won't. In fact, please don't, but you probably will now. Stallmates, pick them up. I'll have a link below. So that's it for this Ziploc bag, I think. Oh no, I also get this. Crossword puzzle. A bunch of them. I just thought it'd be good, you know, for when you're learning Spanish, the more you can interface with the language and the words, the better. And this is just one way for me to do that in the future. So it's like study material. Why not? It's like €1. And here they are, folks. My black diamonds. These have been on 3 Caminos with me. I absolutely love these trekking poles. Yeah, they're intact. And these tips made it, they look like the Decathlon ones. They're not. They made it 2 weeks on the Frances and the entire Portuguese. I can see that the tips are finally poking through them. Now, mind you, I use this correctly. I take them off when I'm on the trail, and I put them on when I'm on concrete. And so they made it intact all the way to Finisterre and then the Murcia. And they made it back to me here. Whew. I love these things. So stoked about those tips. I'll be talking about them in a future video too. So an alternative to the Decathlon ones. You can also see that I have, can you see that? See the basket on the end? See the holes in it? Yeah, you do. I put these holes in it before I left. I drilled them through. Yeah. You probably don't need to do that. I do that because I don't want it to create any suction if it's going in on a rainy day. I hiked through 8 days of rain on Buen Camino. And one thing I noticed is the suction that these would make, and it would slow me down. You wouldn't even notice it, but it creates resistance while you're hiking and will slow you down at such a level that no one in their right mind would notice it, but I did. So to prevent that from happening, I drilled some holes in it. And yeah, didn't have a problem with that. It also didn't rain once the entire time I was on the Camino this year. That's never happened before. That was amazing. It was also a pity because I wanted to test out the shoes I was wearing. We'll get to it in a future video, but I didn't get to do that. Anyways, trekking poles are here. Love them. As you can see, I have some duct tape on one side. On the right side, it should be the right side. Yes, this will always tell me I have, because yes, sometimes trekking poles are made for the right and the left hand. Cheaper ones aren't. More expensive ones are. So just to know right away, visually, I put tape on the right-hand side. In the past, I put it on both sides. If you do want to bring that much tape with you, because the tape's there not to mark them, but for an emergency, like for emergency uses. Because you can use your trekking poles for 101 things. But again, tape comes in handy a lot. So bring some with you. The best way to bring it with you is to roll it around the trekking pole. And by default, you'll know which trekking pole you have, be it the right or the left too, because now you've marked it as well. So, tape. Tape is your friend. Use it. Another bag. Cacao Bliss. This is just like a supplement. It's like a cacao supplement. It has loads of stuff in it though, but aside from cacao, it's got lucuma, 4 superfoods, MCT, turmeric. Some of you know what I'm talking about, some of you don't. It's superfood, powdery stuff I put in my coffee. Yeah, again, if you've been following this channel, or maybe the Camino Tellers, you've seen me with this as well. And that's something I have in my coffee every morning. Again, I use it like a supplement, treat it like a supplement, and this batteries still work too. Pretty powerful. And I bring this tiny mixer with me. This is like the one thing I bring with me that is probably over the top, and I get a lot of looks. And under their breath, they go, Americans. Yeah. Sorry, folks. Sorry. But it's my one, I don't know, my one secret weight cheat. I mean, it's not heavy at all, more bulky than heavy, but I keep it in my sling bag and I use it every morning. So it's getting a lot of use out of it and it makes me happy. Cacao makes me happy. And it'll make you happy too. Maybe not Cacao Bliss, but if you're just a Cacao Bliss, go for the Cacao Bliss. But you could also be using collagen or something else you want to mix with your coffee. Because coffee in Spain, especially when you drink it black, it's powerful stuff. They're Americanos, or they're Café Solos, or whatever you can get really. But it's an acquired taste and takes a little getting used to. So you can kind of soften it with an additive like cacao. And this cacao, Cacao Bliss, is ceremonial quality. Is that what it says? Ceremonial grade. That's a thing. I don't know who's grading these things, but if I wanted to, if the spirit moved me, no pun intended, I could have a ceremony just like that. And for the most part, I do every morning. With that first sip. My towel. This. I don't know if many of you know this, but I kind of invented a microfiber towel too. Not necessarily the microfibers, but look at that. Huh? Actually, it's the perfect thickness. It's not too thin. A lot of these microfiber towels, there's one by Sea to Summit that is so small, it's awesome. It'll fit in the palm of your hand. However, it fills up with water so fast. That said, if you have that microfiber towel or a smaller one like that, remember, don't dry your head first. Be your man, be your woman. Don't do that because it'll absorb all that water first. Dry off your body first and then move to your head with the towel. On the other hand, I like to use a towel to dry my body with as well as my clothes. I towel dry them first before I hang them and it speeds up the drying time. Again, if you follow my channel, you already know this tip. But if not, yeah. So that said, I need a more substantial towel. This still packs down really small, rolls up. You can put it in the compression bag too if you want to, but it's great because I can still dry off my clothes and dry off my body and the towel is fine. With the thinner towels, the smaller towels, you gotta choose one or the other. So what happened with me on one Camino is I had the smaller towel, but I couldn't dry my clothes with it. So my clothes were taking, and especially on this Camino, it was the Norte and the Primitivo, my clothes were taking forever to dry. So I needed that extra towel. In fact, I bought an extra towel So now I had 2 towels. So it's just like, rather than pick up 2 towels, one for my clothes and one for me, just use the same towel. Just get the right towel. And this towel is great. I designed it especially with the Camino in mind. I have these 2 loops actually on my towel in the middle of the towel. I know, it looks weird, which is great for hanging it to dry, but also hanging it from your backpack. You put it over your straps on each side and you hang it over the back so you can wear it like a cape and it'll dry in the sun as you hike during the course of the day. That's if you're a morning showerer, which I am.
Okay.
So my towel's wet in the morning. But by the time I get to wherever I'm going, actually after the first hour of hiking, or at least when the sun's out, it's dry. So I hang it on my pack. So I thought, well, hanging on the pack, I might as well, let people know that I am in fact a pilgrim. So I stuck a shell on
Can I
it.
get a high five?
That's my microfiber towel. I'll have a link for this below if you're interested at all. But I love this thing. You can also use it for an impromptu yoga mat. You can also use it for a blanket to keep you warm in the night. I make the mistake often in the summertime is not using my silk liner. I have it with me, but it's at the bottom of my bag and I don't have it out because it's warm. And I'm like, I'm not gonna need it at all. But sometimes in the middle of the night, especially if the window's open, it does get chilly in Spain. So if my towel's nearby, like hanging over my bed or drying somewhere, I'll grab that and use this as a blanket. And I've done it when I'm really too lazy to get out of bed or just you don't want to make any noise in the middle of the night looking for something. It's a great impromptu yoga mat and blanket, as well as other things. This is my sun hoodie. And this is great because it also has like a face guard. So when you're wearing it without the hood on, down around your neck, it's kind of like wearing a bandana or a gaiter, a neck gaiter, or a buff. Can I use that word?
No!
We'll say neck gaiter. And yeah, this one is actually made out of merino wool, so it's really great. It doesn't, you can wear this for days without it stinking. It's just it's a great sun hoodie all around. It's good to have. I actually had a synthetic one and this one. I sent the synthetic one back and this one stayed with me the entire trip. It's also got thumb holes in the wrists. I love them. I often look for these on a sun shirt or a long sleeve just because while I'm using my trekking poles, I can have these down. It keeps my shirt down around my wrists. Makes my wrists stay warm. But I don't know. I just like thumb holes. Maybe you do too. If you do, this merino sun shirt, hoodie, sun shirt from Outdoor Research is awesome. I'll try to find a link for this and put it below as well. But yeah, still doesn't smell. I know. Speak of the devil. So here we go, folks. This is my Cocoon Silk Mummy Liner.
Excuse me?
This is all you need in the summertime on the Camino. Late spring, summer, this is all I ever use. And again, so pair this with a towel. If the towel's long enough, again, this towel is almost as long as a yoga mat. So that's why it makes a great yoga mat. But it also, and if you do like Bikram yoga too, this is a good towel to use on top of your yoga mat because it'll absorb sweat. But this in combination with this silk liner, and you're good to go. You don't need to bring a heavy sleeping bag or even a thin sleeping bag. You just don't need it. How small this is. Oh, and there's something inside. It's like Cracker Jacks. It made it. They always tell me these will never make it. This is my knife, my pocket knife. What I do is before I get to Spain, I send my trekking poles, typically, and a pocket knife to the hotel that I know I'm gonna be staying at the first night I spend in Spain. Alliteration. And so that's what I did this time around. And then before I leave Spain, I send my trekking poles and the knife back. And they always tell me at the post office it might not make it because it's too big. But this one, I think it can't be as big as your hand. This is really not that big, but I don't know. The reason why I brought this particular one is because it has tweezers and a toothpick. So it's kind of like that Swiss Army knife thing going on. Is more bang for your buck. But this is great for cutting chocolate, if you can believe that. Chocolate in Astorga especially is brick-like. And it's tough to break on a corner or whatever. And so a pocket knife is good. You can find pocket knives along the way. It's not going to be as good as the one you could probably buy here or wherever you are and send it to you. But they do sell pocket knives in Spain. I like this one because the blade locks. The ones I saw along the way were more touristy, so they weren't like a
locking blade.
But whatever. I mean, there was one There was one time I did the Camino and my trekking poles got turned around with my knife. So I didn't have a knife. So I had to buy one there. And I went through a couple different ones. I lost one, found another, but I was never satisfied with the knives I found in Spain. So send your own if you need one. And it is nice to have, you know, just a pocket knife. This. In fact, I can finally put it back in my wallet. What is this? This is better than an AirTag, an Apple AirTag. Not necessarily better, but it's another type of tag, like an AirTag, where you can track your wallet. It's the size of a credit card, so it fits in the credit card slot, or you can track your box, or your sling bag, or your shoes. What I like about this one, if you have different shoes than everyone else on the Camino, and if you're staying in this place that you get a sketchy vibe from, because sometimes people will, we won't say steal your shoes, but they accidentally take the wrong shoes and hike with them, and now you're left with their stinky shoes. So if you're afraid of your shoes being ganked in the night, this also fits under your inner sole inside your shoe. Yeah, so you could actually track someone if they had your shoes. I don't know. You can be like Spider-Man. So I love this card. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'll have a link below. I'll call it like credit card AirTag. But yeah, you can use this for anything, but it does fit well in your wallet. And again, if you don't want to get pickpocketed, let's hope you never get pickpocketed. But if that's a concern of yours, this is a workaround, at least, as long as they don't check your wallet, but you can track it. And so, yeah, very stoked with that. And with that, in this box, I was able to track this box as it shipped from Spain back home. That's right, folks. And I do the same thing. I do vice versa. When I send trekking poles and a knife to Spain before me, I have an AirTag in there as well. So I can track it as it goes and see that it's gotten where it needs to be. And I'll send it out a couple weeks beforehand. If I see that it doesn't make it, I'll send another trekking pole pair or whatever. But it's good. AirTags for the win. Trust me, folks, AirTags. And again, if you follow this channel, you know that they've come in very useful for me in the past. Yeah, stuff worked out that would not have worked out if I hadn't used them. So AirTags. And this, again, weighs nothing. It's the size of a credit card, and you can get a lot of use out of it. This is 2 microfiber towels. Actually, it's 1 microfiber towel cut in half. I didn't use this at all. This is like a hack of mine for drying your shoes, though. And again, it didn't rain this time, but along the way, sometimes there'll be newspaper at the place you stay, and you'll be like, oh, cool, they provided Spanish newspaper by the shoe rack. I wonder why. Well, the reason why is they are hoping you'll use it in your shoes if they're wet, and it'll absorb the water and your shoes will dry overnight. That's the goal. That's often the wish, but it seldom does that bear fruit. Weird choice of words there. Foot fruit. So it works okay, but if it's damp, if it's raining days, it doesn't work that well after a while. Your shoes, I hiked through over a week of rain one time, and my shoes were not drying. No matter how much newspaper or paper towels I used, they just were not drying. This was my workaround. Microfiber towels work great inside shoes and absorb so much water when compared to newspaper, like 80% more. So that's why I bring them. And it's light. I've got it to pack down really small, and these will both fit in my shoes if I need them and dry them fast. So didn't use them, but had them with me. And this, can you tell there's a magnet inside there? Whoa. Okay, this is my headlamp. Oh, this made it too. And this is a reflector. You walk on the road a lot. You do, especially on the Norte and the Primitivo. There's a lot of road walking. And in the morning, this is what you want. And this would go on my front clip, my chest clip for my backpack. It's hanging right there. So if walking towards traffic, they can see at least this, and you get some reflector action happening as well. So I highly recommend bringing something like this with you. It's light, it's cheap, it's super light. I can't stress that enough. And you can put this on the front of you or the back of your backpack, depending on which side of the road you're walking on. But you want to be seen. So this is just a cheap, easy way to be seen. So yes, I highly recommend this. And then my headlamp. And again, you've seen this before, especially if you're following my channel, with the magnet mount. So I can mount it to the inside of my hat. And then I have this strap I can put on here as well and wear it over my head if I need to, rather than if I have my hat off. You know what I'm saying. There's a video about this. You can make one too. I'll put it right here. There it is. Watch that video. Don't click on it. I don't know if that's going to work. But just remember the name and go there. Watch that immediately after this. Oh, there's also, there's a little reflector I have on a washer that I can also use with a magnet to put on my hat. The magnet goes inside my hat. Reflector goes on the outside. And this just, again, makes me more visible in the early morning. So, glad to be back with this. This has been on many Caminos with me. I love this thing. Bring a headlamp, especially if you're going to be morning walking. And sometimes you don't know. So it's just good to have it. And if you don't end up getting up early in the morning and walking in the dark, which I highly recommend you do, just to witness the sunrises, one after another. But if you don't do that, you can always just send it home. Then I have my clothes washing stuff. I have my Sea to Summit, I think it's Sea to Summit. Yeah, Sea to Summit clothesline. It fits in this little package. You've seen this before on this channel. And I brought these clips too. See these? These are, I got these from my seamstress. Do they call them seamstresses? My dry cleaners. They were clips on, you know, on clothes I had, not dry clean, but I had hemmed. And they function like clothespins, but they're just lighter and they're really cheap and small. So I had a bunch of them. I thought I would try those instead of bring clothespins this year. And diaper pins. I always bring diaper pins. Those come in handy in a million different ways. I bring like a sheet or two of, it's a soap sheet. I'll bring a couple of these just in case. I also have my all-purpose soap bar that I use for either my head or my clothes or both. So it's always good to have a couple of those though, just in case. And also wax earplugs. Notice they're in this bag though, because I don't use these in my ears. I use these to stop drains with. Yeah, because often you will be washing your clothes in the sink, and often they won't have a stopper that will fit that drain. So you can just customize it with wax earplugs to fit the drain. Again, I have other videos on that. You can find them on the channel. Please, my patella band. So I bring two of these with me, only because, I don't know, it happens to me like once every Camino, though it didn't happen this time. I have this knee issue going downhill. It's usually the first day going over the Pyrenees, coming down. For whatever reason, one of my knees affects me, sometimes both. So I bring two, just in case, because in that moment, you will be happy you have these. It only takes that one time when you don't have them and you're like, oh. These save the day. You can walk again with patella bands. So I'll have a link for these down below as well, but I highly recommend at least bring one. I bring two because I'm excessive. There, first step is admitting it. Wow, I think I'm missing. I bought gifts too, and I don't see them in here. I lost them. They must have lost in shipment. See, that's what I'm saying. The boxes suck coming out of Spain. Anyways, moving along. This little container. This was awesome. This came in handy. I made overnight oats. Whenever I stayed at a place that had a fridge, I would buy or travel with a packet of oats, of dried oats, and just like half a cup inside here, some water. I would add seeds like sunflower, maybe some raisins, whatever. But this would save my bacon. As an early riser, you're up hours before breakfast is served in most places. Sometimes albergues do serve breakfast, like starting at 7 or whatnot. But if you want to leave before then, you're not going to get breakfast. And if you're hoping that something's open, it won't be. Stuff doesn't open sometimes till like 10. So that first coffee, that first tortilla, it's not going to happen. So you can fight back by having your own breakfast ready. That's right. Now you could leave this outside the fridge at night if you're really hardcore, but I don't do that. I always just put it in the fridge and let it sit and do its thing, and then the next morning it's good to go. So this is a win. I don't know. I'll have a link for this. I don't think this is sold individually. This is part of a bigger kit, but you just need a small container or a small jar. This is plastic. You want something plastic that'll travel well, but yeah, just a small container for overnight oats. Thank me later. You can also use it to drink wine out of at the wine fountain. Yeah, that's a thing. And my stick bag. So my stick, I broke down into three. My trekking poles, I broke them down into 3 pieces. And when they're apart, collapsed, it wouldn't fit in here. See that? That bummed me out. Then I realized I could just pull them outside of each other. Pull them outside of each other. And like this, you have a smaller footprint. and fit inside the bag. So remember that. I know. Of course you're going to remember that. Who would forget that? I forgot that. I forgot that. But you won't. Not anymore. And this is just a, what is this? This is a tripod bag that might have come with that tripod that you can't see. But it's right there, holding up the camera. Trust me. You can find these on Amazon. It's super lightweight, super small. So much so that, like, you know, in the past, I brought these with me to Spain, and then I've just left them at the first albergue, or I've given them away to people, and there's plastic inside of it. And then I was like, it's so light. Why don't I just bring it with me, and then when I get to Santiago, I'll have something to put my trekking poles in and send them home, and they'll be safe. Notice that they weren't inside this, though. I don't know what happened there. So there's that. But I have it for next year now. So this just lived at the bottom of my bag. My backpack. It just had it. I didn't have it rolled up. I just had it open like this, and like it just stayed there the entire time. I didn't even notice it. So trekking pole bag. Yeah. Here's another basket. I didn't bring this with me. I think I found this along the way. You'll see these on the trail. Pick them up. They're good to have. But see this trekking pole bag? A lot of people think this little hole right here so you can clip them together. It's not. That's to do, or actually it's the same function as me drilling holes in it. It's so there's no suction when you're using them. It prevents them from sticking. So if you don't want to drill holes in your own, at least look for baskets that have that little cut out of them like that. Yeah. This is my first aid kit for my gear. It's a gear first aid kit. I've got like a small thing of super glue just in case. That was actually for my nail. Before I left, I'm like, you know what? I split my pinky nail. Don't ask. But there was a crack running down it, and so I was super gluing it back together like you do. So I thought I might need to do that along the way. But it's also just great to have for shoes or whatever gear failure you have, having a tiny little bit of super glue. So that I have that in 2 Ziploc bags in here, just in case it burst, because no one wants that. I have a small sewing kit, needle, thread, and needle threader. You know, that thing with like the picture of Mozart on it, that little tin thing that you can thread your needles. Bring that. In the past, I forgot to bring that, and my eyes aren't what they used to. I could have used that. So this time, I definitely had that with me. Didn't need it, luckily, but there was one Camino where I was sewing up my socks like every other night. Yeah, so, and I didn't have that. So if I needed it this time, it was there. And, you know, I have other gear stuff in here. I have gear patches by Gear Aid. This is like Band-Aids for your gear. It's nylon patches that are adhesive. So you can fix a jacket with it. You can fix your backpack with it. It's ultra strong. Just really good to have. You don't need to bring this entire case. You can just bring 1 or 2 patches just in case you or maybe your friends need it. And I just got other doodads in here. I actually have small flathead screwdriver and Phillips screwdriver in here as well. For my trekking poles, there's like some adjustments on there that are, I think they're Phillips. So that, again, I might bring a little too much with me. I have some cord, plastic things, thread, stuff that you might need to fix your gear when you're in the middle of nowhere. And I know people are like, oh, there's stores in Spain. Yeah, there are stores in Spain, but you have to get to them. And those are in the bigger cities or bigger towns. But sometimes you're in like a small medieval village that has one general store, and it's small. It's really small. It might be closed because it's a Sunday. It might not be open because it's siesta. There's a million and one things that go wrong. So it's good to have this stuff at your fingertips. I think anyways. I sleep better at night. I was a Boy Scout, so I don't feel too bad about like that whole like, oh, you carry your worries on your back. It's okay to be prepared. Be prepared is the Boy Scout motto for a reason. And it's not because it's because we're worried. Are Boy Scouts worried? Regardless, it's come in handy before. I highly recommend it. Disregard whatever the people in the forums are saying. You'll thank me. And that, folks, you know, this is really sad. That I bought these cool pillowcases in the Santiago Cathedral gift shop, and they are not in this box. And what I can see happened here is this whole side of the box opened up, and whatever was loose fell out. And that's why, again, folks, I say, oh, no, here it is. And this is why I say dry bags are awesome. And dry bags, I could have brought this home in my backpack. Instead, I use it to just lump a bunch of stuff together And so I didn't lose it if that happened. And okay, see that? I went through all these emotions and there was no need for that, but I kept it together, right? Right. Look at these. These are cool. They're like tapestries, but from the cathedral, from the Santiago Cathedral, and they're pillowcases. So these are gifts, and they made it. These are gonna look so cool. Look at these. Yeah. So those did make it. God, I just thought I. What else we got? Oh, look at this. Another dry bag. Dry bags are so important. I will have a link below to dry bags, but dry bags. Telling you people, get dry bags. It keeps your stuff dry. Okay, what else we got? Bandana. Yeah. Bandana. Bandanas are great. Bandanas are also like, they serve so many purposes. I keep one around my neck at all times when I'm on the trail. It's great for sweat. It's great. Actually, will keep you warm in the morning too. It's great for covering your face if you need to rob a stagecoach. It's also great for wrapping ice cubes in and wearing around your neck, so it keeps your neck cool. It drips down your back. It's kind of gross in that way, but it's also kind of cooling. So, and that's just some of. You can also use it as a tourniquet if you needed to. You can use it as. I mean, it's a rag. It's cloth. It can be anything. It can be a snot rag, whatever you need it to be. Pea cloth. Please don't use it as a pea cloth and wear it around your neck, but that is a thing if you don't know what I'm talking about. So, bandanas. I bring at least 3 with me. Sometimes I pick some up on the road too. Oh, look at this. More Decathlon products. These are toe socks. I love toe socks. I'm a huge toe sock person. Guy. Pilgrim. Wear toe socks. I don't care what anyone says. Wear them. You have no excuse not to. It prevents your toes from rubbing together. It prevents blisters, especially if it's your first Camino and you don't know how your feet are going to behave. Toe socks will ensure that at least your toes aren't rubbing together. It also ensures that your feet splay in your shoes. If you don't have a wide toe box in your shoes, this just allows them to splay even more. Otherwise, your sock is going to hold your toes together and your shoes are going to hold your toes together. This will allow for a little bit more play, and you'll be walking more natural and you'll have less foot problems. So toe socks are the way. These can be found at Decathlon. However, these will not be in the hiking section. These are in the running section. Remember that. If you're in Decathlon, look in the running section. It has to be a bigger Decathlon. The smaller ones, like in some of these places, I can't remember which ones had smaller ones, but the smaller ones leave a lot to be desired for. Seriously. Literally. You won't find these there. But if you are in a bigger Decathlon, look in the running section for toe socks and pick them up. Big fan of these. And I pick them up whenever I get to Spain. I stock up on these toe socks. They rock. What else we got? Now, another patella band. See, I told you I bring 2. Thought it was a lie. I also have I have a receipt. A microfiber cloth. It's for drying off my... No, it's not for drying off anything. It's for cleaning my glasses. If you bring sunglasses with you or glasses, this is great. Have it in your sling bag. Have it in your bum bag in a small pocket. You might think it's just extra weight. This weighs nothing. And nothing cleans glasses for me like a small microfiber cloth. I don't know if you've experienced that, but I'm telling you, it's worth its weight in cloth. More socks. This is actually my sock bag. My socks live in this small dry bag inside my pack. So, but let's see. Sometimes I start moving stuff around, and bags that say stuff on the outside, always label your bag, even if you're not using it for whatever you have. Yeah, see, I don't have it labeled correctly. I have other things in it. Inside here is a red plastic bag, and inside this red plastic bag is more red plastic bags. Now, these are great for turning your bunk lamp into a red lamp. A red bag like this, you can slip right over the light bulb, not over the bulb, but over the casing, and it'll turn that light red. So in the morning when you're packing up, if you don't want to disturb anybody and you need to turn on a light, this will turn it into a red light. That's another hack. It's another one of my videos which contains a lot more hacks in regard to turning any lamp or light into a red lamp or light. This is just one of the many ways. This bag in itself is also. Red dry bags also work well for this. Here's another dry bag. This is a Sea to Summit dry bag. I've used it on a couple Caminos. If you do use a Sea to Summit brand, look to see if they have, like this one has a screw in here. This is a Phillips head right here, screw on both sides. check them before you leave. Tighten them, because I've lost these and it renders the bag useless. The whole mechanism falls apart and you can't close it. So make sure these are tight before you leave, or you bring a tiny screwdriver like me, you can fix it along the way if you can find the screw. So, or just find dry bags that don't have that feature. I mean, it's kind of cool, like moving forward in the future, I can replace these if I need to, but dry bags are so cheap and pretty good, all of them, that yeah, I don't really need this type. So like, maybe just don't get a Sea to Summit one, because you don't want to risk losing that. Here we go. So just like that patch, I got a pickle neck gaiter. Now this, I thought it was a bandana. The way it was packaged, I thought I was buying a bandana. Like I said, I pick up bandanas along the way. So I accidentally picked this up, this neck gaiter. I'm not a huge neck gaiter guy, but this is thin enough. It's like t-shirt material. It might be cotton, and I'm not a huge fan of cotton when I'm hiking, but thin enough and it's fun enough, and I'm going to give it away as a gift to probably a small child, but I thought I was going to wear this as a bandana. Here's a bandana. Now this bandana is great because it's a blend. It's of merino and something else. So this is not going to stink. It's going to dry really fast, and there's 1,000,001 uses for it. So bandanas for the win, people. Spiky ball. This is a spiky ball I picked up at Decathlon. I have my own spiky ball available on my site, which is better. I know, but with my spiky ball, it's made out of plastic, so I have to use it. I bring a small piece of yoga mat so it doesn't slide away from me when I'm trying to use it in the albergue or wherever. Unless it's a rug, then it has some grip and it won't slide out from under me. Yeah, I learned that the hard way on my first Camino. After that, I started bringing a piece of yoga mat. This one I picked up at Decathlon, however. So if you don't pick up one beforehand, you can pick one up at Decathlon, and it's made out of rubber. So you don't need a yoga mat. It's going to stick to the floor and your foot. However, it is a little bit heavier than mine. So it's a weight thing, and it's also smaller. So, and the spikes are smaller too. So I don't feel like it digs into all the nooks and crannies of the English muffin. No, of my feet like it needs to. I bought this at the tail end though and tried it out, and I was like, it's okay. If you don't have one and you need one, Decathlon sells these. Pick them up and thank me later. This, I mean, for foot health, for recovery, spiky balls. Again, this is from Decathlon. I also have my own, but take care of your feet and they'll take care of you. Let's see what else we got. Aha! Another Decathlon shirt.
Sin tortilla no hay camino.
I think. Is it? Yeah. So this is a synthetic one. This isn't wool. This is a synthetic Decathlon shirt. And it's lightweight, it's thin, and by like week 3, and after many hand washings, this is like sticking to you. It's like second skin. So I probably won't wear this at home. Maybe I will when I'm working out, but it's kind of tight now. I don't know if it shrank or if it's just, maybe it's just built like that, but I love their shirts. I love their merino, and I love their synthetics. And look at how small that packs up too. So, you know, maybe next year when I leave for the Camino, I'm not going to bring clothes with me. Well, except for the ones I'm wearing. And when I get to a Decathlon on that first day, pick stuff up there. Because unlike a lot of North American gear sellers of gear stores that change their lineup every year or every season, Decathlon sells the same stuff all the time. For years, I've been buying those merino wool shirts, same colors, and same thing with these synthetics. While the design may change on the synthetics, it's still the same material that I see year after year, the same colors and whatnot. So I can go there knowing that I'm going to find something that will fit me and will work. And a magnet. This was given to me in Santiago at the sushi restaurant I kept frequenting. I went to probably like 4 or 5 times. It's awesome. I'll have the name of it here, if I remember, if I can find it. If I can't, I'm just pointing. Just wanted to point that out. Hopefully it's there. Are you there?
Sushi Fafa.
And another one. Really? Here's another merino shirt, same color as the other one. Oh, you know what it is? I brought one with me. Did I really?
See.
Maybe I bought 2 along the way. I don't know what happened here, but I have 2 of those. I love that. And what else we got? Oh, and tips. These are Decathlon tips. Whenever I'm at a Decathlon, I pick them up because I think they're some of the best tips out there. However, I'm working on my own tip, aside from these tips and hacks. But more on that in the future. Another one. and more earplugs. This, I think, again, was something I was using for something else, so I will not put these in my ears. But when it comes to earplugs, you can get the foam ones. A lot of people do. But for me, they don't stay in my ears well, especially when I'm asleep. I'll wake up in the night and they're gone. I wake up to snoring. And these are form-fitting. You can customize them to your ear. It's going to take the shape of your ear. You just push it in there. And they may pop out a little bit in the night, but they're really easy. I just prefer these. After so many Caminos, I think the first 1 and 2, I was using the foam ones. Maybe it was just the one. I think it was after that first one, I was like, no, we need to fix that. So silicone or wax earplugs are the way to go. And that looks to be it, folks. That is my unboxing of my box that I sent back from Spain with me. Again, if you're looking to send something back to yourself in Spain, know going in that the boxes in Spain are thinner cardboard. It's gonna get pretty beat up. So act accordingly beforehand, preventively. This I could have and should have asked her to tape up more. If I had a problem with that, maybe, you know, I might do this next time, is bring my own tape. Not bring it with me from here, but buy tape in Spain before I go to the post office and then tape it up myself rather than rely on them to do it, because it just wasn't good enough. And what I would do is I would tape the seams. I would tape the seams and maybe double up a box, put another box within the box, because by the time it gets to me, now this was 3 weeks shipping, but it's just the way stuff's packed. Like, there's no foam in there. They don't put any packing material in there, which may be ecologically mindful. It's not effective when it comes to protecting your stuff. Now, there was a scare. My pillowcases, but they did show up. They're here. Whew. So thanks for tuning in, folks. If you liked what you saw, and I'm not sure if you will, because it's different, it's a weird video. I unboxed my own box. There was that thing at the beginning. I don't know what that was. Can you make sense of it? I hope so. But please like, comment, and subscribe. And in the comments below, if you have time, maybe let me know what you'd like to see. I have lots of footage from my last trip. I also have loads of tips, tricks, and hacks coming up. So this year, new season, new year, new tips, new tricks, new hacks, and a whole lot more. Visit me at shelltoucher.com or visit me here. Drop me a line anytime. I can talk about this stuff all day long. This is my passion. This is the Camino de Santiago. I am Shell Toucher. And until next time. What am I doing? Is this a namaste thing? Was I going to do namaste? I was going to do a namaste. I don't typically do that. In fact, I never do that. I never do that. So I don't know what this was.